Hey there everyone, Randy here with Nerds Templar. This is the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate AI League, and it is set number 18. It is 18 for the red out of 21 sets. We are almost at the end here. Either 3 or 4 games left, depending on buys. After 17 sets in the red here, first division always to go. Byleth and Donkey Kong tied at 13 and 3 at the top. Byleth beat him already though. They also clinched the top 8, meaning they're going to stay here for sure this season, into next season, that is, in the red division. K Rool 12 and 4 behind them after losing to Donkey Kong last set. 11 and 5 Pyra and Mythra, 10 and 6 Terry, 10 and 7 Dr. Mario, 9 and 7 for Simon and Hero. Simon beat Hero, and all the top 8 can still make that top 3, so no one clinching that just yet. And we got Yoshi, 8 and 8, along with Mario. They're actually up today against each other. Be a great one. 8 and 9 Zelda behind them. 7 and 9, big pack of 7 and 9s. 4 of them. Pit 7 and 9, who beat the Brawler and Kirby. And then we have Marth 7 and 9 beat Brawler and Kirby. And we have Brawler 7 and 9 who beat Kirby, who is the bottom of those. 15th place in that move in middle. And then we got 6 and 11, that is. Young Link, who beat the 6 and 11 Ryu, 5 and 11 Lucario, 4 and 12 Jigglypuff, who beat the 4 and 12 Greninja, who beat the 4 and 12 Peach. And they're all actually still in this somehow. With one more loss would be enough. It also depends on how everybody else does in the division. But for now, they're still in it. And it's still pretty close in a lot of different important areas here. Today, set 18, Simon is taking on Pit. Me Brawler's got Hero. Marth against Jigglypuff. Lucario versus Young Link. Peach taking on Ryu. Greninja taking on K Rool. And we got Kirby versus Dr. Mario. Actually, Kirby making it into the best 4 matches there. Mario versus Yoshi. Donkey Kong against Terry. And finally, Byleth versus Pyra and Mythra. And Zelda's on a bye at 8 and 9, right in the middle there. Who knows what will happen to her after today? Let's find out. And you know what? For the next couple sets, maybe even the next few sets, maybe even the next last 4 of the regular season, we are going to be using randomly chosen, randomly drawn or dice rolled skins for everyone. Just get a look at all the different skins maybe at the end of the season here. Not all of them, of course, but maybe some different ones. But if we get, one of their secondaries or tertiaries, like, well, we'll just use it. Whatever the dice decide. Simon, Super Mushroom right now. Above Pit in record, as he is 9 and 7. He is 7th place. He's actually dropped a bit. Simon, that is. Pit has also dropped, but he's dropped a lot farther. 7 and 9. He's been in that middle for a while now. Basically where he was last season in the yellow. And right now, again, looking as though he will move on to the green. As he's now sporting a green tunic. And so maybe getting prepared for his new home there. Simon, yeah, looking decent for him. He could still fall out of the top 8 here, of course. Enough matches left for that to certainly happen. When he's just on the brink, really, with 2 8 and 8s and the 8 and 9 Zelda just behind him right now at 9 and 7. He is ahead of Pit at the moment. Got another Super Mushroom and Poison Mushroom on Pit. Oh no. Pit 49 almost launched, not quite. And he almost gets hit by that boomerang blade. Not quite again. 80% Super Mushroom again on Simon, and 85% on Pit. He's not going to need to be poisoned for a knockout there, but it's not going to happen. Still comes back. But, well, that Super Mushroom might help out Pit a bit here. He does really need some wins, because again, he's the top of that 7 and 9 pack. One of the 2 that gets in of the 4. Because he and Marth both beaten Kirby and Brawler, they're definitely in. And Pit and Marth themselves play in set 20. That's going to be awesome. It's also going to be an old school yellow division matchup. Ooh. Throwing axe coming in hot. And down goes Pit. 100 on Simon, looking for a flawless to start us off here. That is not going to be good for Pit. And another Super Mushroom for Simon, man. He's getting them all. Pit's got like 1 or 2 maybe, and a bunch of super or poison mushrooms. Simon, another super mushroom for him there. Can he close it out? 100% still only on him on his first stock. Oh, he gets the poison, goes back to normal. 76 though on Pit's last. No hope in this one, but he might get 1 knockout. It's gonna be bad. He's gonna move down to 7 and 10 though, and depending on how everyone else does, I guess it's 7 and 9. We could have one of the 7 and 10s making it in. First of the 7 and 9s going down here. Still can't even get the knockout with Poison Simon at 121%. Now he has a Super Mushroom Simon, that is. 131's not going to matter. 100 on Pit might, though. Especially after that. No, 122, though. And now, yeah, it's anyone's knockout for the next one. And Poison Mushroom on Simon. Pit. Not doing anything at all. Delayed victory here for Simon. Quite a delayed victory. There it is. There's Pit. Losing. That's a 7 and 10. And that is gives a lot of hope then to Marth and Brawler and Kirby now to make it into the playoffs. If one of those win, 2 of those that is, if all 3 of them win, one of them won't make it in, and that would be Kirby. But yeah, it's still not bad for him at all. Simon, great win for him. He's going to move then to 10 and 7, probably earn his spot in that top 8 for sure, or in the playoffs for sure, with 10 wins, maybe even in the top 8. We'll see. We'll see. He's already there. He's got Terry next. He's got Byleth after that, and finally he's got Marth. So only one slightly easier one there at the end, but the other 2 he's going to have to really earn his place there. Pit, on the other hand, if he's going to have a chance to get in, he's got to go through Byleth, Marth himself, both that Simon has to fight, and then finally Peach. So he does have an easy one at the end, perhaps. But Peach at that point might, who knows? Maybe she's going to be trying to get a playoff spot. All right, Brawler versus Hero. This is another extremely important one, of course. Brawler, his hands a little full here. Just as full as Pit had. Same records here, 7 and 9 and 9 and 7. The other 9 and 7, there's 2 of them. One of the other 4, 7 and 9s. Brawler, the one who lost to the other 2, Marth and Pit, but beat Kirby. So in fact, with a win here, will get into the playoffs. At least the picture, the playoff picture, that is. Okay, of course. Still have 3 sets left. Both of these guys already had their bye. Young Link, Dr. Mario, and Rigor, the last one. Zelda today, of course. But now Brawler with the lead. Hero, again, just on the brink of that top 8. He's in there at the top 8. With a loss, he could be out. He does get the first knockout all of a sudden, though, on the Brawler. And that's good. Good for him. Not that it would be a relatively decent upset, but again, those 2, that would be an 8 and 9 Brawler and a 9 and 8 Hero, so it wouldn't really be that far off if it were to be that slight upset today, right now. Right now, Brawler evening it up, getting a Poison Mushroom, taking some damage, 27% on his second right now. Yes, again, Hero looking a little different today. Of course, random skins. Brawler, the Miis, we don't really have much choice, so we're just going to go with some black and white because we're going to be doing several different sets of random ones. So we'll do black for one set for all of them, and white for the other set. That's basically the only other colors we got to use for them, but that's okay. That's plenty. That's 5 different colors for all the Miis. Their normal color, which is all purples, and then they got their secondary and tertiary based on their divisions, and then finally they got the black and white ones. Pretty good ensemble, eh? Ooh, another Poison Mushroom for Brawler, who's gone down already again. And it's looking great for Hero now. Looking not quite as good as it was for Simon, although he's making much shorter work here of Brawler, looks like. No, we got one knockout a lot quicker. Doesn't really matter. But also, oh, almost, but Hero back to the stage. Nice recovery. Giant Brawler can't quite get the second knockout, but he can tie this thing up in a moment. But the Poison Mushroom coming in, 68% on him now. That could be, oh no, he's just not coming back. He's just done. Poison Mushroom. I don't know if the tree was blowing him off at all there, though. That was kind of quite the distance, I think, for it to affect him. But it might have a little bit, especially when you're poisoned, especially when your up B is not that great. In a sub 3-minute match, Hero takes a commanding victory, 10-7 for him. And we've got our top 8 at 10-7, at 10 plus wins now. There you have it. And that's 2 7-9s down. That means Marth. Well, Marth is already in. He's going to stay in for sure. Pit actually, well, yeah, I guess that doesn't mean Marth is going to stay. Yeah, I guess it does, because Marth would either pass up Pit. Kirby has the chance to also pass up everybody but Marth if Marth would win. Marth would lose. Well, yeah, if Marth would lose and Kirby won, then yeah, Marth would be out. But that's really the only way those 7 and 9s would change now. It is still possible. Still all obviously super contentious down there as well. Brawler's got Mario next, and then he's got Zelda. And finally, he finishes with Young Link. So 2 extremely important wins, 8-8, 8-9, and then finally there, Young Link. Not a gimme either at 6-11. He may be right in there with the Brawler at that point. Coming up, honestly, they might be neck and neck today. And Hero now 10-7. He's finishing off with K Rool, Donkey Kong, and then Greninja at least. So he's got a slightly easier one to finish. But 2 of the top 3, and then that. All right. Marth versus Jigglypuff. It's still another important one, and for Marth, 7-9, another 7-9. Again, we're just talking about him. Easier match than the others, 4-12 Jigglypuff, but she is still trying here. She still has a shot. It's crazy. These are both Yellow Division fighters, also from last season, so they know a little bit about each other. They remember. Marth defeating Jigglypuff the first time around, and the second time. Also, of course, coming out ahead, really just in the tiebreaker. He was the top of the 7 and 13s between he, Marth, Lucario, and Jigglypuff. He being Marth, and then Lucario and Jigglypuff. And the other one to move from the yellow pit was one game above at 8-12. But right now, Marth has had a chance this entire time. He's neck and neck with Pit. He has a chance. He's had a chance this entire time to go ahead of him. He's probably been ahead of him maybe once or twice. Maybe. Actually, maybe not. This might be the first chance he can actually do it. Because Pit's been doing well even when Marth was in the beginning, and then they both started slipping. But Pit always has remained ahead of him until right now they're tied at 7 and 9. And they have yet to fight. Again, that's going to be set 20, and it might be awesome. But Marth might go ahead of Pit here. I'm going to give you a little sneak preview on that, by the way, as well. Pit beat Marth, and then Marth beat Pit in the second time around. And that was old school Yellow Division as well. So they are 1-1 against each other. Very interesting. Ooh. Super Mushroom, and was that Marth, I guess, maybe just going back to normal size, but still knocked out. Jigglypuff with the lead, 112 on her. Another Super Mushroom. She's going to stay on that stage. Big Puff. Jigglypuff. 133. Marth poison now. He continues to have the size disadvantage. Very hard to get knockouts when that's happening. Especially when you don't have a size advantage on your opponent already. They're basically the same. Jigglypuff isn't necessarily small. Not very big, but still not exactly small. Like Marth now is. that poison mushroom. And Jigglypuff sizing him up. He's only at 33, so he should be okay, maybe. Only takes one hit. 44 after he comes back to normal size. 137 still on Jigglypuff's burst, though. And has Marth to 60. Giant Jiggly almost launched by Marth. Not quite. 167. She chases down the poison mushroom, and Marth jumps away from her instead of attacking at that moment. So she's safe. Still, normal sizes. 167 on Jiggly. 74 on Marth's second. Oh, man. Counter by Marth, and Jigglypuff goes flying. Caught in the wind. Marth poisoned again. 74%. Jigglypuff supersize. There's no way Marth is getting out of that thing. Oh, man. Goodbye. Oh, he's able to block it because Jiggly takes too long. And then she gets, like, mad about it and comes in hot with that attack. That pound, and down goes Marth's second stock. 23 on Jigglypuff. Marth's big. Can you make that mushroom count? Poison mushroom on the other side of the stage, knocking Jigglypuff toward it wouldn't be the worst thing. He's not doing anything. He's jumping around, swinging, and nothing. Not what you want to do. Jigglypuff big again. 32 on her second. 32 on Marth. Still not a bunch, but he's now poisoned. 42. It's not good. Jigglypuff, though, again, retreating instead of attacking when she has the advantage. Now there's a nice grab attack. 55 on Marth. 82 on her second. It's looking good. Wow, for the 4 and 12 Jiggly to take down another of the 7 and 9s, and that is the kind of thing she needs to happen if she wants in. Boom. Big puff. Still not getting Marth off, but still very close. 98 on Marth's last. 85 on Jigglypuff's second. Poison mushroom back to normal. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, again, we have seen this. Marth beat her both times last season, but we have seen the matchup. Something Jigglypuff's used to. Getting knocked around by that sword. The long one. 5-minute mark there around. Oh, okay, Marth. Poison Jiggly. Able to get the Poison Jiggly off the stage, but Jigglypuff comes back strong. And that is that. Down goes Marth. 3 7 and 9s of 4 of them all go down already today. That's nuts. I think we see the last one is Kirby. That's later. That's in that first of the best 4 matches to come in the end. So maybe he can make some great headway. In fact, he could certainly make it into the playoffs comfortably with a win today. It's incredible. Coming back, Kirby, maybe. He has to win, of course, and he has a tough one, obviously. He's in that bottom match there against Dr. Mario. It's the toughest of all the 7 and 9, what they had to fight, who they had to fight. And yeah, great for Jiggly. 5 and 12, still a shot in this one, especially, again, with the ones that are losing. That's going to keep her chances, keep her hopes alive. Coming up next is Jigglypuff versus Peach, and that means that one of them, even if Peach wins today, one of them is definitely going to probably be done. Whoever loses that is going to be out. And then there's going to only be those 2 sets left after that. We're going to have Jigglypuff is going to have Kirby. Ooh, that's very interesting because, again, needs him to lose to get her in. And finally, she's got Lucario. Wow. So another one, but just below her. But yeah, could be up there depending on how he does. Marth, for his part, he's got Pyra and Mythra. He's got Pit, and he's got Simon. So Pit's a little easier. We already talked about that one. It's about neck and neck for them. But Pyra and Mythra and Simon, those are not going to be easy. Pit may or may not be able to make the playoffs. It's looking like he could end up right around where he was last season at, Marth. Same, both Pit and Marth around where they were last season at that 7 and 8 win spot just out of playoffs. Great, yeah, Marth 7 and 10 now. Jigglypuff 5 and 12. All right, random skins, but I do believe these are 2 we see in their red division. 2, they're one of the 2 red division skins they wear. Wearing the skins. Lucario, just talking about him, 5 and 11. Young Link also mentioned him earlier, 6 and 11. Both just out of playoffs, but they, with the losses today, You just never know. All those 7 and 9s going to 7 and 10. Young Link could go to 7 and 11. Lucario could go to 6 and 11. Either way, either a game or half a game behind. All those losing at 7 and 9. But you certainly don't want to go to 12. That would not be good. So whoever loses this, probably on their last leg if they even have a shot left. After the loss, that is. If they can win here, if you can win out at this point, with 11 losses, in 9 and 11 is looking pretty good, at least for maybe at least some of the 9 and 11s. It would probably end up being more than one, at least. Young Link ahead in this one, on 5 to 61. And Young Link, if he wants to win out, he's got the bye next time, so that's why he's already dipping. He can get 7 here. Ooh, and it's he is still in the lead now, 80% with the first knockout. Supersized Mushroom for a moment, it's gone now, but Lucario's poisoned. You need 2 on him. After his bye, he's got Yoshi, he's got me, Brawler, so 2 winnable matches. Not easy ones. Certainly winnable. Brawler, he's going to have to win probably to get into the playoffs. But Yoshi, he's also, well, he's going to have to win them all, but Brawler is going to be one contending for those spots with him. Yoshi's going to be just ahead of that, probably already. Pretty good. Depending on how Yoshi does, he might be already in. I mean, in, like, by then, for sure. Lucario. Oh, man, knocked out again. That is not good at all. He's got Dr. Mario next. He's got Ryu after that. And he's got Jigglypuff, so he has some winnable ones as well. Dr. Mario is going to be really tough, but he needs an extremely huge comeback to have any shot right now because of that Dr. Mario match, I would say. And because he does have the extra match, he has to win. Young Link does have that advantage as well, having the extra win already. Still needing the bye, but having the win instead of the loss is certainly good. So with then a win here, yeah, man, it's actually looking very doable for Young Link with 2 decent, again, 2 winnable ones to finish things off. He could even take Yoshi's spot if he could beat Yoshi coming up. Oh man, he's looking for a flawless against Lucario, and if he would have swung instead of grabbing a bomb there, he may have had it. 146 on his first stock. Super Mushroom. Lucario's poisoned again. 75 on his last. It is not. Look, everyone's back to normal size. Young Link is going to miss the hook shot on the side of the stage, and there goes his flawless victory, but it shouldn't matter. Still, Lucario is poisoned. Again, he's back to normal. Super Mushroom for Lucario. I don't think he's going to make this insane comeback. It is still, I guess, possible. He just can't get hit too many more times here. It is Young Link, so you are going to have, especially with the poison mushrooms, the mushrooms in general going your way, you're going to have the size advantage, 48% knockout on Young Link, and this is what I was talking about. Yeah, Lucario running around with the super mushroom, but oh, there it is. He loses it. Young Link, that's kind of all he needed. Enough percent, 120 plus on Lucario. Normal sizes for both of them. And a nice swing. Dusts off the hands. And wow, that was a close one, but that was a great win for Young Link there. Again, 7 and 11 now. And he is looking like just out of the playoffs. He's going to remain where he is. He's not going to be in the move in middle just yet, but he has a great chance to get there. And he's going to be on his bye next time. And on his bye next set afterward, could end up in there depending on how all those guys just above him do. Lucario probably done at 5 and 12 now. With, yeah, again, I don't think 8 and 12 is going to do it. It's asking a lot, probably in most divisions for 8 and 12. If it's going to happen, it's going to be like one of them, maybe. And that's the best Lucario can do now. Still has one tough one to come, so probably done. Well, this is why I should never play RPGs, because I get horrible dice rolls. I got a 1 and a 2 for this one, so Peach wearing normal skin and Ryu wearing his second one. We haven't seen it, though. But, yeah. I rolled 2 2s just before this, rolled a 1 and a 2 here. That's about right. Got Peach It is interesting, you know, young Link seems to be proving that he is maybe better than Toon Link as a character. Maybe it's just a fluke this season, who knows? Although young Link or Toon Link doing bad 2 seasons in a row, young Link doing well-ish, well enough, much better than young Link. Toon Link did both seasons in his first season here, so there's that, I guess. Ryu has already knocked Peach out. Again, Peach 4 and 12 definitely done. Still in right now, but definitely done with a loss. And it's not a great start for her there. Basically, her playoffs begin now. She's sudden death, single elimination mode. Cannot lose from this point on. Even if she would, I don't even know if she'd have a chance. Again, Jigglypuff coming up next for her is a must-win, and then she's got to deal with Pyra and Mythra. And finally, she's got Pit, which may be her ticket in if she can win out. Pit might be the one that drops out and lets her in, but, ooh, man, those are not... I mean, really just Pyra and Mythra, I guess. If you can manage to make playoffs, you got to be able to beat somebody like Pit. And so, yeah, it's really just Pyra and Mythra. Gets the knockout in return on Ryu here. Oh, man, that was crazy. Almost like trying to bait him off the side of the map. Didn't work. It almost worked. He returns 63 on Peach's second. And she's got a Super Mushroom. 83 now, though. 101. Oh, man. Tons of damage coming out from Ryu. He's poisoned now. Peach back to normal size. Ryu, obviously, again, a bit easier path for him in. He's another 6 and 11. He's got the very last buy. Ooh, uppercut, super size uppercut. Down goes Peach. And he's got a full stock advantage now. After this match, which would probably, at this point, maybe looking like it's going to move him to 7 and 11. He's then got to take on Kirby and then Lucario. So he's actually got a very easy way in. Kirby going to be, well, we'll see. Kirby might be one of the ones he needs to beat to get into the playoffs, and that'll be that. And then after that, he's got a slightly easier one. Maybe. I mean, 5 and 11 Lucario, 5 and 12 Lucario now. Should be able to do it. But we'll see. And he's got his bye to finish the season off, so. What's interesting is that if it weren't AI, it would be like a nice time to get your bye right there. The last of the last of the regular season moving in there. So what if you didn't get a bye? You didn't get one of the top 3 spots, then you're like, oh, you know, I got like this buy instead, at least before playoffs. But since they're AI, it's CPU, it does not matter at all. This is a pretty drawn out again ending here, but 142 on Peach. He's just hanging in there. 96 supersized knockout on Ryu. 42-0, 1 stock each. So basically, same lead that Ryu had. It's just stock is the same now, which is good for Peach. Except, yeah, now another Super Mushroom for Ryu. Waiting for Peach to return. Still, there it is. Peach cannot get the counter, the Toad counter, on the giant Ryu, and he is now, yes, 7-11. He can just win out. He's probably going to get in to the playoffs. We shall have to see. Peach, done for good. I think she has actually finally now officially been eliminated with those 13 losses. Although we are still going to have one 7-win fighter in the playoffs. So I guess I have to take that back. She is still going to be in with 13 losses, insanely. I mean, still probably is not. If we like check all the matchups, there's probably like no way for her actually to make it in. But barring the matchups themselves, just looking at the records where they stand, she could technically go 7 and 13, and there is a 7 winner getting into the playoffs right now. So just based on those facts, she has a chance. It should seriously not still be the case that she has a chance, but she does, and Greninja is going to be the same then. Jiggly does, of course. She's 5 and 12 now, so she went up He doesn't have the 13 losses, but yeah, that means Greninja actually isn't going to be out with the probable loss against King K Rool. I love the again randomized colors that we got this time around. Greninja sporting some green, being like, I wish I could get out of this division, but really, again, probably don't want to. Green is not going to be easier than the red. I don't think. Still, kind of hard to say. Kind of hard to say. Red does seem like the easiest division, maybe, and green does seem like perhaps the hardest, so. But that'll all kind of even up as we move those middle packs every season. Right now, Greninja actually faring well, holding his own against the golden K Rool. Just coming off his loss to Donkey Kong, he probably really hated that. 12-4 right now. Sitting sole third place. Sole 12-4, that is. No tie. Greninja, of course, 4-12. He can somehow, wow, got the first knockout, 104, what? And K Rool comes back immediately. Greninja jumps above his spawn platform, and K Rool just knocks him out without even hopping off of it. So tied up immediately. Oh, Greninja poisoned, but into the super mushroom, back to normal. If he can somehow pull this one off against K Rool, he still has to fight Donkey Kong next. And he's got Terry. And he's got Hero. So all top 8 and the number 2 after this. So that's really hard. I would say Greninja's done. Just like I would say Peach is done. But still, they're in theory not going to be. K Rool, though, he's obviously good for... He's not actually in the top 8, I guess. For sure. But he probably will be today. I wouldn't doubt that's going to happen. But worry about him going anywhere next season. He's going to be, again, red. We can mark him as an OG red, then, in that case, a veteran red division. You know, if we don't necessarily count those who couldn't have been in a division the first season 0, that is, because they weren't even in the league, is the second half of the fighter list. Then yeah, if they can stay in their first division this season around, then they would be OG in that division, being that this is the true season 1 K Rool. Donkey Kong is super OG red division, though. Might be the only one that stays that is super OG red. Yoshi, Mario, Zelda, and Kirby all in that middle pack. Oh, Peach at the very bottom, of course. She'll stay. K Rool tying it up. It's just so hard to deal with him. That heat-seeking cannonball is going to take Greninja out. What a shot. It's a supersized K Rool to do it, but yeah, just like that, that was... What do you do against that guy? Be big like Donkey Kong, I suppose. That helps. K Rool taking that one. 13-4. He's got Hero next. He's got Mario after that, and then he's got Zelda. So number 8, number 10, and number 11 coming into today. Obviously, everything's slightly easy for him, but those would be slightly harder than, you know, the bottom half, I guess, of the division. But he's fought a lot of the mostly, I guess, all the other hard ones. I believe he beat Byleth, right? So yeah, that's a thing. He can get back up in the top there. He has a chance to make it back into first, I suppose. Especially with those matchups. We'll see. And just like that, we're in our top best 4 matches of the day. Kirby and Dr. Mario. There's the last 7 and 9 for you. See what he can do. Curbs. Number 1 from last season, 13-7. What a fall he's had. Not quite as bad as Peach. At least he still has a chance to make it into the playoffs. Not a chance, though, to stay here in the red. So that is a little too bad for him because, again, he was first. He also made it the entire way to the semifinal, that is. The semifinal last season in the playoffs. Had his bye, had the bye, of course, being number 1. Came back to defeat Rob, who beat Ganondorf to get in. That was kind of a nice win there. And then beat Pokemon Trainer. A nice win against the #1 in the Yellow Division. And then lost to Captain Falcon. So, but you know, had a great run. Top 4 in that case from the postseason last season, in the entire league. And now he is 7-9. But hey, with a chance right now to get into playoff contention again. Just needs a win. Nobody else won. He would be the only 8-9 other than Zelda on her bye again. So stay there. Mario and Yoshi still to go could also drop. One of them is going to drop to 8-9 because that's where, yeah, they both are. Interestingly enough, Zelda and Yoshi, if Yoshi would lose, they'd both be 8-9. And they also fight next set. Kirby with a nice lead right now from Dr. Mario. Of course, an echo of regular Mario, who's not doing as well as him. Mario 8-8, Dr. Mario 10-7. Certainly different matchups left to go. Dr. Mario knocking Kirby out, but not going to be able to make it back to the stage. Poison. And Kirby with a big stock advantage now. Whole stock lead. And one more only remaining on Dr. Mario. A very quick match. Great fun though. A huge upset if Kirby can do it. What? Oh, dodged the poison mushroom twice and then grabbed it. So that was unfortunate. And there it's going to be Dr. Mario evening it up. Wow. This is a super back and forth one. Kirby still with a very, very tiny lead, and he's now very, very tiny. That's going to probably take away his lead unless he cannot suck Dr. Mario into his mouth while he's tiny, apparently. That was hilarious. It's got to be normal size to be able to do that, I guess. Good to know. Dr. Mario is tiny. Kirby a shot here to finish at 83 on Dr. Mario. Nice. Oh. Dr. Mario, I think he blocked that and was coming back to normal size. That helps too. 24 to 89. But a bad mushroom for Dr. Mario might do it. One that's not in his favor, that is. Poison mushroom, and that's what I'm talking about. Look out, Mario. Yep. In comes Kirby, and down goes Dr. Mario. Wow. Another one. I guess he might be the first one up there that went down. Simon won, Hero won. Yeah. Dr. Mario goes down. He's now 10-8. Got 10-7 Simon and Hero. It's going to drop Dr. Mario down the whole way to 8th place. He's going to stay there. He doesn't have a chance to fall out of there. He's the second to last bye. So that's why he's a little different there. Lucario is bye, and then Yoshi for him. That might be a huge one to finish things off. That could determine our number 8 spot. And Kirby now, great win there. So important with all the losses happening around him. 8-9 now, tied with Zelda. We'll see how they did in their head-to-head. Kirby's got Ryu. He's got Jigglypuff. And finally, Pyra and Mythra. So Ryu and Jigglypuff, certainly very winnable. And then one more final tough one to see if he really is playoff ready. And if he can win that, he'll probably certainly be in, I would say, with only 9 losses right now. Great for Kirby. And man, we got a great one here now. The 8-8s, here it is. And it's old school red. Mario versus Yoshi. 2 buds. Seeing who is the stronger of the 2. Yoshi defeated Mario the first time. And Mario defeated Yoshi the second time. So, that is that. Both of them, again, old school. Red here, got to stay. Yoshi 11-9. Just barely beating out the 11-9 Link to remain in the red. Mario in that 13-7 4-way tie at the top. Number 3 in the division. Lost his first round of playoffs to the Ice Climbers. So that was unfortunate. But Yoshi, yes, also lost. He lost to Mewtwo. He was in the closest match. That was the seed 8 Mewtwo versus Seed 9 Yoshi. Losing that one, but Mario completely upset by the last seed of the playoffs, the only 9 and 11 to make it in, Ice Climbers. So both of them certainly want to get back in there, get their first playoff win. Looking great for both of them right now as well. Obviously, whoever loses here are going to have a slightly tougher time. Yoshi was doing much better this season. He's been in the top 8 several times. Mario, maybe early on. I don't think even early on. Hasn't really been that good. Yeah, he's been pretty lackluster. He was about middle of the pack at some points, where he was doing better than, like, clearly better than Kirby and Peach from last season. But still not really as well as he was doing. Although, again, for the most part, he was in the middle until a little later in the season last season as well. So slowly climbing his way up to that top. Not quite going to be able to make it to that 13-7 record again with 8 losses already. But 12-8, still a great place to be. And Yoshi, again, on his ball here. Maybe it's the time for Mario to be able to do it. But right now, he's down. We're already to 1-2 stock. And Yoshi at 119 on that 2 stock. It's almost still even. Mario can get the quick knockout here. So 130 on Yoshi. 30 on Mario. 37. Yoshi trying to stack some damage before he gets knocked out. So a third to last match. But man, it is an epic one. Mario with the Poison Mushroom on Yoshi will get that knockout. 49% on him. 50%. You don't want to be any higher than that when you get that last tying knockout, that is. 65 on Mario. 15 on Yoshi. Keeping that 50% advantage. Yoshi slowly losing it. Super Mushroom Yoshi. Can he do it? 65 on Mario. One gets that one. That was a Poison Mushroom, I believe, off the side. Bunny ears. Always throwing a bit of different wrench in things. All the mushrooms throw a wrench in things, I suppose. Oh, blocking the egg back, and Mario, supersized Mario, coming in hot. Wow, what a finish for Mario. Incredible attack and victory. And Yoshi continues to lose. He's now going to drop to 8 and 9. Mario's going to go up to 9 and 8. That might be one of the best spots he's been all season, in that 9th place spot, just under those 9 and the 10 and 7s, 10 and 8, Dr. Mario, and then there's him at 9 and 8. That's very interesting. I'm pretty sure Dr. Mario beat him though. And Mario himself, he's got Brawler next, the easier one, a bit easier there. K Rool though after that, and he finishes the season against Donkey Kong. So that is rough. Donkey Kong and K Rool as your last two. At least he gets one more slight break in the Brawler, but he's, you got a chance to knock the Brawler maybe even farther out of playoff contention there. Yoshi, 8 and 9, tying the 8 and 9 Zelda and Kirby now. And guess what? He's got Zelda next, and he's now 8 and 9 along with her. He's done this the last 3 sets. He was just before this. When he was 8 and 7, he fought Hero and lost. Now he's 8 and 8, fought Mario and lost. At both, again, 8 and 7 Hero lost to him. 8 and 8 Mario lost to him. Now he's going to go up against the 8 and 9 Zelda while he's 8 and 9. See, he keeps just dropping and dropping and dropping. And Zelda, that's another old school red matchup. And Zelda's was 1 match ahead of him in record last season. All right, that's that. It's now time for Donkey Kong versus Terry. Second to last match. You know the last two are going to be amazing if this is the second to last. Also, shout out late great Kobe Bryant. Got some purple and gold here. Some Lakers colors. I mean, it's the Lakers, not Kobe, but you know, Kobe. For the love of Kobe, Donkey Kong off to a bit of a better start here, maybe. It's not a super size, never mind. Donkey Kong's just big. Terry does have a super mushroom though here. He's coming back, he's getting some damage in there. Now we've got a big Donkey Kong. You know when he's big, because he takes up the entire stage. It's actually like my favorite color of purple right there. It's like that bluish purple. Kind of a faded bluish purple though, if you look at it. Anyway, Donkey Kong is second place, 13 and 3 with Byleth because Byleth beat him. He's second, but he's, you know, sure he's all right with that. He's just the same spot he was last season. I mean, he's doing a much better. The record's a much better. 7 losses, but at the top of the standings again, just like last season. At that 13 and 7 in that big tie, he was at the bottom of the 4. But now he's the only one that has any chance of being at the top again. Knocked out in return right after getting Terry. It's back to 2 stock, 0 each. Donkey Kong, obviously Super Mushroom. 47% on Terry all of a sudden, who goes flying off the side of the stage. Good thing he still has a recovery after using that attack. He's good. Terry, 10 and 6. He is number 6. Actually, number 5. I can't count. By himself there, because he's already has his bye. Dr. Mario was just below him. With this, if he would go to 10 and 7, of course, Simon and Hero just moved to 10 and 7 themselves. Have a big old tie there with the then 10 and 8 Dr. Mario just behind them. Man. Getting heated in the bottom of the top 8. But the top of the top 8 is looking strong right now, though. Again, Terry returning the knockout on Donkey Kong. Whoa! He went flying. Just jumped and he just almost like soared right off of the stage. Donkey Kong with those bunny ears. And just so gracefully just like... Swoop. Anyway, again, he's now down in percent. Nice attack though. Wait, what just happened? What? Did his arm just grab that poison mushroom and knock him back to normal size? That was insane. I was thinking for sure that's Terry's mushroom. Gonna fall right on his head. But Big Donkey Kong's arm grabbed it. And now, okay, he's big again, so yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate occurrence. Oh, he dodged the super mushroom, then grabbed it, so he's normal again, 85 to 89. This is super close. Terry super mushroom. That is gonna, oh man, gonna do it right there. Donkey Kong goes down. Terry is gonna take it today. Wow. Okay. Okay. I can't believe it. Wait, that's Donkey Kong's line. He's now 13 and 4. Wow. Wow. K Rool a chance to tie him back up. And well, he had his chance and got it. They're both 13 and 4 now. Donkey Kong will stay ahead of him, of course, because of the win he just had against K Rool. But still, they're tied up again. And Byleth still has to fight Pyra and Mithra next. That could be K Rool's chance right there to go back ahead in this thing. Although he wouldn't because of the 3-way tie in the 3-way head-to-head mix-up they have right now. Each of them losing to one and winning against another one of them. So they wouldn't actually move if that would happen. Byleth, DK, and K Rool would stay in their positions. At least for now, they will have, at the very end, if it would end that way, we will have one extra tie-breaking or some extra tiebreakers to make sure that those 3 would be. But tentatively, wouldn't be looking at that until the very end to see what their matchups are like against the, if it would be those top 3, then what their matchups are like against number 4, number 5, 6, and so on, until we see who has the better wins and deserves that very first spot. But either way, it's looking like that might be our top 3, but still a chance for some, like Terry, to break in there. That's going to be 12 and 5. Oh, I'm sorry, 11 and 6 for Terry. And yes, Donkey Kong, 13 and 4. DK's got Greninja, he's got Hero, and he's got Mario. So they're all kind of easier for him, of course, at the top there. But hey, could be a couple might struggle a little bit with, perhaps just like Hero, perhaps. Simon though, Terry that is, has Simon next, and then he's got Greninja himself, and then Byleth. So he's got 2 tough ones. But again, 2 that he can solidify his top 8 spot, maybe even the top 3 there. Very interesting for him. All right, but we rolled double 8s for this last match. There we go. Getting a good roll. And it's the best, of course. 13 and 3 Byleth. Pyra and Mithra used to be the number 1, where Byleth is now. 11 and 5 now. Chance to go to that 12 and 5 would be nice. Would be nice. A very good spot. Still, again, she's going to be the one, just like Terry. It's going to have the best chance of making that top 3 still. A lot hinges on this win. A lot of other things hinges on this as well. This matchup in general. You could pull Pyra back down if Byleth wins here, opening that top 8 up for perhaps even to some others. Or again, Pyra and Mythra make a run for that top 3 again, which could threaten Byleth's spot there. And if that does happen again, they would be a big 3-way tie again at first place. Byleth, DK, and K Rool. If both Byleth and DK lose today, K Rool winning. Pretty crazy. It's just like the Red Division last season. Isn't that insane? Except whole different set of fighters. Donkey Kong, the only one that would be the same. Byleth and K Rool both being new to the league. Someone else maybe even still a chance. If Pyra would win here, they could be the one that make it a 4-way tie just like last season here. That'd be very interesting. And Terry, of course, right there, breathing down their neck. And Pyra and Mythra tie this one up. Byleth had the lead there. Only 25 on Pyra. Fighter of choice at the moment. All tied up. Percent-wise, that is. Byleth. Trying to pull back ahead here. Yeah, again, only 3 left. These fighters had their bye. Oh no! A nice knockout for Byleth. Mythra will not be able to return to the map. I think she's probably has a better shot than Pyra, recovery-wise. She won't do it, though. A nice lead for Byleth, but a nice attack there from Mythra. 71 on Byleth. Just one nice hit if they can get the mushroom advantage. Or if they just do some edge things and Byleth falls off. That was an incredible knockout for them. And what? Are you kidding me? Byleth, a 51% knockout without a mushroom? Was there... maybe I missed Mythra got poisoned perhaps, but wow, 51% Byleth returns and just immediately gets that knockout for the victory. Wow. Byleth is now the sole first place. There is nobody with the same record. She was sole first place because she beat Donkey Kong already, but now there's nobody with the same record. She's up there by herself. What a match. 14 and 3, that is. Pyra and Mythra falling again, 11 and 6. Just where Terry is. I have to see what their matchup looks like. Pyra and Mythra finishing things off against Marth, against Peach, and finally against Kirby. So I don't think that they'll go below any of those fighters. Could be worse for them. And Byleth, maybe very close to securing this top 3. She's got Pit left, she's got Simon, and then her final match is against Terry. That's interesting. So actually, Pit's a little easier, but after Pit, Simon and Terry, not easy. But she still should be good, and with a win against Pit next time, maybe that could be top 3 locked in for her. Wow. Let's see where everyone has ended up after today. All right, one step closer to the end. 18 sets out of 21 in the books. Simon beating Pit, Hero defeating Brawler, Jigglypuff beating Marth, Young Link defeating Lucario, Ryu beating Peach, K Rool beating Greninja, Kirby defeating Dr. Mario, Mario defeating Yoshi, Terry beating Donkey Kong, and Byleth over Pyra and Mythra. After all of that, a few things happened. 14 and 3, Byleth all by herself up there, basically locked in the top 3, but not quite officially. Donkey Kong 13 and 4, along with K Rool, beat him already. 13 wins now clinches that top 8, so we're going to see it. We are going to definitely see all 3 of those. I think Byleth and DK already did clinch. K Rool now certainly clinching with 13. Then we got Terry and Pyra and Mythra tied at 11 and 6. Terry beat them already, and so he's actually taken that 4th place spot from Pyra and Mythra. And that top 5 is very heated, and right below them, I mean, the entire top 8, really. Simon and Hero, 10 and 7 is just below him. Simon beat Hero already. 7 losses can still make the top 8, the top 3, and that includes Hero then. The only one in the top 8 that can't make the top 3 is that Dr. Mario now at 10 and 8. But he's still there in the top 8. Mario just behind him, 9 and 8. And then just below that, the 8 and 9s. Look at this. Kirby is now number 10 in the division. 8 and 9, beating both Yoshi and Zelda at 8 and 9 now. Both of them falling below Kirby. It's insane. Now look at those in the middle moving there at the top. Mario, Kirby, Yoshi, Zelda. 4 of the original Red Division. And that's just crazy. And of course, Yoshi and Zelda are going to be up next. This next coming set 19, they're going to be fighting to see where they end up, right on the brink of playoff contention, with 7 and 10, Pit and Marth and Brawler just behind them. And again, we have Pit and Marth already beat Brawler, so he's out. But between Pit and Marth, that last playoff spot is still up in the air as well. They're going to be fighting in set 20, so they got one more set to go to see if they can remain tied come set 20 and see if they are really truly still vying for that. They probably still will be, even depending on, it doesn't even really matter whether who wins and who loses there. They still probably will be vying for that last playoff spot come set 20, and of course still have that one set left to make hopefully that one last match matter if they need it. But then yeah, Brawler is the last in that moving middle at 7 and 10. Young Link now and Ryu 7 and 11s now, both winning. Young Link did beat him, so again, they're ahead. It's weird that there's 3 buys left, and 2 of them are tied. Young Link and Ryu there, 7 and 11. Young Link is going to be on the next buy. We got Lucario, 5 and 12. Jigglypuff as well. They are still actually a match left. They're going to be the very last match, Lucario versus Jigglypuff. So we'll see about them. I don't know if that's going to matter a whole lot. It might matter for one of them if one of those two can win out, can win the next 2 matches, depending on how other losses go. Come set 21, that last match could mean something for one of them, but probably only one of them at that point, I'd imagine, if any. Then we got Greninja, 4 and 13, who beat the 4 and 13 Peach, who are still somehow in this, but probably not. Probably not. They got tougher matches, and just with some wins from some certain fighters like like Pit and Marth and guys like that, they would just outright be out, even if they could win out. So either way, that is where we're at. It is just nuts in this division. It's crazy. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Some awesome matches coming up. Some very determinative matches. And next one we're going to see is going to be, of course, Green set 18. We're going to see Little Mac versus Bayonetta. Mewtwo against Luigi. Corrin taking on Bowser. Sheik against Chrom. Mega Man versus Diddy. Lucina taking on Toon Link. Shulk versus a Villager. Bowser Jr. against Piranha Plant, Wolf versus Link, and finally me, Gunner, taking on King Dedede. And Kazuya is on a Bazuya. I'm sorry. Set 19 for the red. Coming up next, set 19 of 21. So close to the end. It all comes down to this. Mario versus me, Brawler. That's going to be Mario at 9 and 8 taking on the 7 and 10 Brawler. Some of these matches you'll see the bottom 4 aren't the best 4, maybe, because I wanted to keep these ones together. Mario in the 7 and 10 Brawler, then we got the Pyra, then 11 and 6, a little harder for the 7 and 10 Marth, and then Pit at 7 and 10, a little harder against the 14 and 3 number 1 Byleth. And those are all the 7 and 10s. We'll see how they do right off the bat, and then we get to see the 5 and 12 Jiggly versus the 4 and 13 Peach. Can Jigglypuff keep her run going? Can Peach somehow sneak into the playoffs still? Probably not, but Jigglypuff does still somehow have a chance, a much better chance than Peach. Certainly if she can win that one. Dr. Mario then at 10 and 8 is going to be taking on Lucario down at 5 and 12. And then we've got DK way up 13 and 4, and he's against Greninja at 4 and 13. And now then our best 4 is going to be Ryu 7 and 11, and he's against Kirby up at now 8 and 9, and now that's a much better matchup just because Kirby's moved so far up in the 8 and 9 tie. And right after that, him at 8 and 9, we get to see the 8 and 9 matchup of Zelda and Yoshi. That'll be fantastic, and we'll know where Kirby stands with whoever will rise or fall in that match. And then our last 2 is going to be Terry again in our penultimate match. He's 11 and 6 now, taking on the 10 and 7 Simon. That'll be a good one there for sure, and maybe even better. Hero, 10 and 7, taking on King K Rool, 13 and 4. Young Link, he's the first of those 7 and 11s between him and Ryu to have a bye. Ryu's the last one. Young Link coming up this time around. We'll see where he ends up. He could end up into that move in middle, depending on what Pit, Marth, and Brawler do, and Ryu. Until then, that's what we got. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment. Hope to see you in those next ones. Who do you think is going to win? I'm Randy with Nerds Templar in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate AI League. Check out everything else we got on the channel for you. Peace.